Everyone, my name is Dave Selby and this is my persuasive speech on carpooling. Would you like to save thousands of dollars a year while also helping improve the environment? Impossible, you say? Think not. Carpooling is your answer. If you listen to my speech, I can give you sources and insight on carpooling so you can save both money and the environment. I would like to first define carpooling. Carpooling is two or more people commuting together. This group may consist of your neighbors, your friends, or employees. They make an arrangement to make a regular journey in a single vehicle. Typically, each person takes turns on driving the others. Now you're probably asking yourself, why should I carpool? This is where my first source comes into play to help explain. A website called cicarpooling.org, which gives statistics on the cost of driving alone, has come up with graph and also important tips and facts on carpooling versus driving alone. Driving alone is the most expensive way to travel. Operating and driving a car in 2009 cost you 56 cents per mile, or $8,490 on average a year. These numbers will only increase with rising gas prices and inflation. Another great source, statistic website called brain.com. If you make a 30-mile round trip by driving alone, you spend on average about $150 over a week. But if you carpool with just one other person, the cost of driving alone is cut in half to $76. And if you add another person, so you have three, that cost is $51 a person. Other benefits of carpooling include saving 85 million gallons of gas annually nationwide. Also, 56,000 miles of traffic are avoided every year due to less cars being on the road. Another great statistic is $1.1 billion is saved a year if the nation starts carpooling right away. Now that I've given you a lot of information on the financial statistics of driving alone versus carpooling, I'd like to give you some information and statistics on how you're going to help the environment by carpooling. To explain, I will use information from my third source, which is Texas A&M's Transportation Mobility Report in 2012. In their report, the Environmental Protection Agency, also known as EPA, ranks transportation as the second largest emitting sector of CO2 and greenhouse gases. This is only barely behind the generation of electricity for our nation, which is number one emission of CO2 and greenhouse gases. The EPA concludes that the average urban area produces 56 billion pounds of CO2 a year. That is equivalent to 12,400 space shuttles taking off with full tanks of gas at the same time. This means that if you break it down, that burning 1 gallon of gas releases 20 pounds of CO2 just from your car alone. Now, with the incredible power of carpooling, you can change all of that. Even with the lowest fuel economy SUV, if you had 4 carpool riders in this SUV, you would be able to use less energy and emit less pollution per passenger than a hybrid car. That's how powerful this is. If a hybrid driver driving a hybrid alone versus a SUV with 4 carpoolers, the SUV with 4 carpoolers emits less CO2 than a hybrid car being driven by themselves. Other benefits of carpooling include less pavement for roads, parking lots, and highways due to the less demand of cars and traffic. Therefore, construction would not be needed to create more roads, and also the CO2 would be less because there's no more construction, or at least less construction. Another great statistic is traffic can also be reduced by 30%, according to the Mobility Report, in almost all urban areas if the nation starts carpooling right away. To conclude my speech on carpooling, if you want to save thousands of dollars annually and also help the environment at the same time, carpooling is definitely your answer. The power of carpooling should never be underestimated because it can even make the lowest fuel economy car into one of the lowest emitting CO2 and greenhouse gases vehicle due to carpooling. Thank you for your time, and I hope you learned a lot about carpooling.